Hey everybody, this is Pablo with Mattress Makers.
I'm Gabe.
In this episode, we are going to discuss mattress fire retardants. So let's go. Okay, so a question that has been coming up quite a bit lately from customers is what kind of mattress fire retardants do we use? I mean, people have never asked that, very little in the past, but now I'm seeing it quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And Gabe, I mean, first of all, like, why are we seeing that?
Yeah, I mean, a big reason why now it's actually been in the news. Been seeing it in the news, on the newspapers, through social media. You know, there's companies that are now advertising, hey, we don't use fiberglass in our, as our fire retardants.
It's become a marketing ploy, like fire retardants. That's was it Puffy has been using that in some of their advertising? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the reason why is like it's because there's been some big lawsuits out there.
Yeah. Yes, there has been some lawsuits. Some of these bigger companies have been sued, and we'll go into a little bit about the reason why that these lawsuits are happening. But yeah, your mattress is not just foam, springs, latex, cotton. You know, there is actually fire retardants in the mattress.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why does your mattress need to have a fire retardant in it? Gabe, what's the main reason why your mattress needs a fire retardant, first of all?
Well, first of all, so, we all know that they're highly combustible, so that you're just sleeping in it and all of a sudden it can just sporadically catch on fire, right?
Not so much.
No? Oh, okay. No, well, in 2007, the government said, hey, you know what? All mattresses that that are made here in the United States have to pass the flammability test.
Yes.
No, because people are smoking in bed, dropping the cigarette. There's the heated blankets.
Heated blankets,
right?
Yep.
Heated blankets. And so it's just, they don't want them to all of a sudden, like, you're sleeping, you just drop a cigarette, and all of a sudden it catches on fire, and then the whole house burns down.
Yeah, so the law was in 2007, and there's other laws in the past that they had to have with the furniture industry.
Yeah.
And like sofas, and they've been going on for years. Now, the bad thing with those laws were that they had to use a certain chemical on how to pass the test. Now, the good thing about this law is it doesn't, and the bad thing about this law, I would say, it doesn't matter how you pass the test, you just have to pass the test, which is going to be good news and bad news.
Oh, that's great news. I love those type of tests.
Yeah. So now the good news is that you don't have to use a chemical. The bad news is now companies can use whatever they want too.
Yeah.
So which can open up the door for a lot of other little issues that we're seeing now. And that's where some of these lawsuits are coming from.
Yeah.
This law, it did create other little issues, Gabe, what are some of the issues that this law opened up the door for?
Yeah, I mean, it opened up one is just adding additional chemicals to the mattress, right?
Yep.
You could use, harsher chemicals, or you could even use, stuff that are maybe not chemicals, but that are just like could be a harsher,
just a material
that that's
like
used
fiberglass.
Fiberglass, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and also it made it harder for the little guy to come up with new beds too. Like every time we come up with a new mattress, it has to pass the fire test, which is very expensive. The larger companies, they're okay with. They can absorb a lot of that cost.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder now for a smaller company to come up with new different models. And so little things, and we can go down that rabbit trail on another video on like the roots behind the law too. Yeah. But we'll save that for another video. Okay, so to make this easier for you guys on your mattress shopping journey, we broke it down into 3 categories with fire retardants.
Yeah.
We broke it up into the red bucket, which is the toxic chemical stay away from category. The yellow bucket, which is potentially harmful, use caution. And then the green, safe. Go ahead, safe. Just don't eat it. Okay, so Gabe, let's talk a little bit about the red category.
Yeah.
So what should they be able to stay away from?
These are like your harsh chemicals that are used inside, like the foams and as a fire retardant. These are like your PBDEs.
Okay.
Antimony. Not alimony, antimony.
Okay.
And then there's a melamine. These are linked to more like the serious, side effects.
Yep.
And some linked to cancer.
Yep.
And endocrine disruptors.
What the heck is that?
Well, it's like so. What it says that some of them can actually produce like more like an estrogen effect.
Estrogen effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, I got to tell you, I was wondering why I started becoming more emotional.
Yeah. Is that when you were sleeping on that mattress for a mattress, years ago? And
Must have been. Once we got it out, like I started like, man, I just felt more just, virile or what is it? I don't know. What's that?
I thought it was all the soybeans and the edamame and the soy milk that you're drinking.
Yeah. So that's exactly what it was happening.
So it was the mattress. It was the antimony.
Yeah. It was the antimony.
Okay, that explains it. Yeah, and then change your mattress to one of our mattresses. You started to grow a little bit more.
Got some chest hair growing. It's
okay. So yes, it can mess up your hormone levels, according to Gabe. So now
that's what you want to avoid.
Yes, that's what you want to avoid. Okay, now so that's the red category.
That's the red category, and the good thing is a lot of these have been phased out.
Okay.
The vast majority have been phased out unless it's coming from
overseas, if they're imported, like the really cheap stuff that you're finding imported.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful of, as doing the research, I have seen little traces that companies seems like they're still using that. They haven't completely phased them out, but that's the cheap stuff. I haven't seen anything that's made domestically, which probably is a little bit easier to avoid these days with the tariffs,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, like the I would say just be careful on those import ones.
Yes.
Those cheap imports, because usually they're either like guest bedrooms, but a lot of times you also see them for kids. Like, oh, I'm just gonna give my kid this, put it on this twin size bunk bed.
That's a good point.
To
Yep.
$199 mattress, but they're exposed to all these like chemicals.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Is the cheap stuff, they're more likely to have some of this stuff, and a lot of parents tend to buy the cheapest stuff for the kids, just for my kids.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for your kids, take that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So the chemicals, and I'll list those chemicals in the notes, but the PBDEs, the TCCPEs, the antimony, yeah. But the melamine, chemicals like that, which I'll list, stay away from, because those are chemical based, and those are actually in the actual materials that they add to it.
Yep.
Stay away from those. Okay. Now, Gabe, let's talk about the yellow category, the yellow bucket.
The yellow bucket. Okay.
The yellow bucket, those are potentially harmful.
Yeah.
Use caution, and those are probably very likely could be still in some of these mattresses today.
Yeah.
That are not that are older.
Yeah, for sure. And researching it, I didn't even really think about it, but it was like one was boric acid.
Boric acid is pretty common.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was like you're right. Like treating it in the cotton. And like more the cotton batting.
And boric acid is a little controversial too, because like if you read someplace, they'll say it's completely safe.
Yeah.
It's used in pesticides, which doesn't make it safe. It actually scares me out even more. But it is found in household goods, boric acid, and unless it's used in like small doses, people say it's unsafe. Me, on the personal, I just don't feel comfortable having boric acid where I'm sleeping. Sleeping with boric acid all night. So like, those two words really.
Don't tell your wife that.
Yeah, I'm sleeping with boric acid. So yeah, anything with boric and acid in the same does not sound good to me.
Doesn't sound good, no.
But yeah, I would probably stay away from. If I'm looking for a mattress today, I would stay away from something like that. And that's usually ones with cotton batting, not cotton fabric, but cotton batting.
Batting inside.
Because that's how they get it to be fire resistant. Is they'll treat it. They'll either spray it, coat it with a powder. That's the boric acid in the cotton batting. What's the other one that you got?
The other one, we brought it up. It was the fiberglass.
The fiberglass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a fiberglass cover that I got to be careful. I'll kind of show you. We found this on a customer's old mat. We grabbed it. Now I got to be very careful with this. This is like a sock that goes around foam mattresses, and I'll put a close-up image on this on the video. But it's like little tiny strands of fiberglass that it's fireproof, but if it goes out, it'll infect everything, man. So I just got to be very careful with this thing that it doesn't go everywhere. But yeah, fiberglass is the one that I would say is potentially harmful, that I would use extreme caution with.
Yeah.
So, and what's the issue with fiberglass, Gabe?
The fiberglass is, those little shards, like the little fibers get, all over the place. They could respiratory issues. They could, get rash stuff. It's just a nuisance, they get stuck in get stuck in your carpet.
Yep.
But I mean, they do a good job at, the fire, the passing the flammability test.
Yeah, and that's where the lawsuits have been coming. Like all the lawsuits that we're seeing now stems from the fiberglass fire retardants. Now, The fiberglass, they say it's fine as long as you keep it enclosed inside the cover. It's not, it shouldn't go anywhere. Some people say it's migrated out of it, you know, which it could be, you know, but if you unzip a lot of these, you know, these cheaper bed in the box foam mattresses have these zippers that they're really not supposed to be taken off, but people are taking off and trying to wash them.
Yeah.
And then they get everywhere, you know, and that's where the issue is. And it's, you know, it's one of those unintended consequences with this law. Like, okay, how do we pass this fire test? Well, fiberglass is fireproof.
Let's not use a chemical. Let's use this. The chemical, you know, this chemical's harsher. The fiberglass isn't. But then you don't think, okay, well, when you unzip it, you take it off, you disrupt it.
Yeah.
You know, those unintended consequences.
Now, here is a way that you can tell if your bed contains fiberglass in it. Is if you look at the law label, it will say glass fiber in there, you know, or it could even say silica or silicon fiber. Silicon fiber in there. So on the law label, you can read it, and then I'll put a couple little images on there. But if it says glass fiber, that is fiberglass, obviously, you know? And I would stay away from that. Zip it up. Don't open up your mattress because it'll go everywhere. And if you're looking for a new mattress, then again, this is on my personal opinion, I would stay away from a mattress that contains fiberglass because I've seen it wreak havoc in homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fiberglass. So the third way, the green bucket of fire retardants, what I say is cool. It's safe, you know, just don't eat it. At least I don't think you should. Is Gabe, what are the fire barriers that we're cool with? Let's go. The wool, the Kevlar, and the wool,
and the rayon silica,
silica. Okay, so Gabe, obviously wool's our favorite one. Wool is going to be. That's the one that we use in the majority of our mattresses. Yeah. They're cheap. You can't get much safer than wool.
Yeah, the problem is people think, oh, well, wool's gonna light up and stuff like that, right? Just get a little thing of wool. I'm gonna put a match to it. Yeah. So how does it? Wool,
if you light up just a strand of wool or yarn with wool, you know, it's gonna light up. It has to be packed in a tight way so it doesn't combust. So not just wool by itself, but it has to be packed in a tight way that it doesn't combust. Wool is by far my favorite. Downside is it's also the most expensive. You know, it's not the easiest to do. It is the most expensive. Yeah. You know, sometimes the wool, if someone's looking for a very like a memory foamy or if they want to feel the latex underneath it.
Like a non-quilted cover or something.
Yeah, then wool can take away some of that latex or the foam feel on it. Yeah. But wool overall is my favorite. And then you said what? Silica was the next one?
Yeah, the silica treated rayon.
Yeah. Now, what is silica?
Yeah, so silica, sand, I mean, really, it's sand.
Comes from sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people get confused, right? That they think that it's silica, fiberglass.
Yes, okay. Myth. Here's a big myth. As I was doing more research on it, especially on these forums, people think that just because it has silica in it automatically equals fiberglass. No. So fiberglass is made from silica, but not all silica is fiberglass. That is something to pay attention to.
If fiberglass is made from silica, but not silica from fiber. Okay, got it.
Yeah, kind of like all chickens are birds, but not all birds are chickens.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. It made sense in my mind when I was doing this. But yeah, so yeah, silica is made into fiberglass, but not all silica is fiberglass. Okay, you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, so silica is okay, and that's in it's in our everyday house. It's in toothpaste, it's in deodorant, it's in some of the food products that they use. It's not a harmful thing when it's used as a fiber. And this is, when it's a silica, it is mostly gonna be kind of in a fiber form like this. You'll see it, and it's gonna be lined inside the mattress. So I would say this is probably the most common fire barrier that I have seen now in mattresses. Yes, is this fiber barrier. So this is the silica type of material. It derives from sand. So silica, and then you said Kevlar.
And then Kevlar.
Kevlar is another one. So this is like the Kevlar one that is used, and this is kind of, you know, Kevlar
that has stretch to it.
Yeah, the same type of material that they use in bulletproof vests. So, but yeah, this is it's a synthetic material. It's not a natural material, but it's inherently fireproof. You know what inherently fireproof is?
It means it's inherently fireproof.
Exactly. It means it's not treated. It's not treated with any chemical to make it fireproof. Like metal is inherently fireproof, you know, or at least you should say fire resistant. A rock is inherently fireproof. It's not going to combust. That's what these two materials are. They're not. There's no chemicals added to make it fire resistant. So those are the three. So you got the wool, you got the silica, and you got the Kevlar. Those are the three. If I see those in a mattress, I have no issues with them being there. I would consider them in the green bucket, the safe category.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a question that comes up is you're probably thinking, if you guys are in your mattress shop, what kind of fire retardants that we use in our mattresses?
Yeah. Actually, we've used the Kevlar, the rayon silica, and then the wool. Probably most of them is going to be with the wool.
The wool.
I would say.
Yes.
Yeah. Most of the stuff's going to be the wool.
Yeah, wool is definitely going to be, and I thought I had a little sample of the wool. I guess I did not have the sample of.
Yeah, there are some latex mattresses that we do. We don't use the wool. We use the Kevlar, and those are our vegan option mattresses.
Oh, time out. I think we do have a sample of the wool. So yeah, here is the wool that we use inside the mattresses. We use the New Zealand Jama wool, but yeah, it does not combust when it's packed in tight, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta use a significant amount of wool inside the lining for it to be fireproof, or fire resistant, I should say. That's the safe category. So recap, you got the red category, which is the toxic chemicals.
Toxic chemicals,
and with those fancy acronyms, PBDEs, you know, and all those alimony or antimony, you know. Then you got the yellow, the fiberglass, and the boric acid. And then you got the green, which you got these guys. Now, we will use these, and, you know, why don't we all just use wool, you know?
Yeah, because we got some that are
the vegan. The vegan,
They don't want any animal products in it, which made me thinking, like, man, is our mattresses, can you eat it? But I don't think so.
One guy tried, but he ended up having bad gas and constipated for about a week. So I would not recommend you eat the mattress. Okay.
Yeah.
So how to stay safe. What can you do? If you're on your mattress shop, how do you do this research on yourself to know what fire retardants are in the mattress?
Yep.
So Gabe, what can they do?
Yeah, one, ask the salesperson. Good chance they might not know, but it's starting off with just asking.
Yeah.
Simple thing to do.
It can be a little frustrating because when I was doing this research, I was asking a few companies, and a lot of them just never gave me a straight answer.
Yeah.
You got to dig a little bit deeper on some of it. I mean, I'm willing to bet that the average mattress salesperson at the store down the street is not going to know what kind of fire retardant is used in their mattresses.
Yeah.
So you might got to go a little bit deeper on it. If and you know they have those chat bots on the website, you might need to just call and ask them. That's probably the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
And if you see anything with glass fiber in it, I would stay away from.
Yeah.
And then, and is there another way?
Yeah, another way is looking at the law label. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Just checking the law label. If it says silicon fiber or a glass fiber, you know.
Yep.
There's that. That's what you want to kind of look for.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the information is out there now that's a little bit easier to find. So,
or if it says chemically treated.
Chemically treated, yeah, stay away from. Yeah. Those things you want to stay away from and just play it safe. If you're not sure if it's like a cheap import, you know, I would probably err on the side of caution on that one.
Even with imports, sometimes, like, you just got to be careful too, even if it doesn't say that on the law label.
Yeah, I have seen discrepancies in what it said on the law label, and as we open a mattress, like, okay, this does not have what it says. So yeah, I would definitely stay clear of that if you can. Now, we got good news though. Now, with all this, there is good news.
Oh yeah.
There's light at the end of this tunnel. So, Gabe, what is the good news?
I mean, the good news is, the industry that we're in, the mattress industry, yeah, there could be a lot of smoke and mirrors. There could be a lot of, you know, just either, you know, marketing, greenwashing, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But the industry does, you know, they do try to improve the materials that they're using in their mattress.
Yep.
And they do listen to, hey, what is kind of customer sentiment, you know? Oh, fiberglass? A lot of them are starting to move away from it.
Yes, they stopped using. They pretty much stopped using that red category. Anything made today, unless again going to the imports, it's gonna be hard to find those chemical-based ones now because everybody knows that they're harmful.
Yeah.
The fiberglass, boric acid, those are going to be, they're starting to be phased, especially fiberglass is especially starting to be phased out. Many companies are pulling away from that, you know, with the exception of some of the cheaper stuff out there because it is a cheap way to do it. So they're going more with the silica, and the Kevlar is going to be more the common way. Wool is a little bit more niche when it comes to that. But that's the good news. The mattresses made today have less of the bad stuff in it. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope this put you guys your mind at ease and cleared up some of the questions with mattress fire retardants. If you guys are on your mattress shopping journey, you want to talk, if you want us, either Gabe or myself or one of our trained mattressologists to just walk you through the mattress shopping journey and answer your questions, you can book an appointment on the link below. You can sign up and we'll give you a call and we'll talk you through this.
Yep.
So I really hope this helped you guys. Again, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Sleep well. One thing we forgot to mention earlier in the video is, can you get a mattress without any fire retardants? We've had customers ask if we can make a mattress without any fire retardants, and the answer is yes, we can, but there is one thing you need to do. Is if you get a doctor's prescription or a doctor's note and bring it into a mattress manufacturer, we can make you a mattress without any fire retardants. Whether it's because of allergies or some kind of sickness, you can get a doctor's note and we will make you a mattress without any fire retardants. So that is good news. Hope this helps you guys.